Hi, welcome to VideoMathLessons.com. Tonight we're doing an Algebra 2 and Trigonometry lesson on exponential functions, and in particular we're going to be talking about exponential regression. This is part 1 of 2, and so let's jump right into it. Well, now when they say find the exponential equation, or they'll say regression equation, what they're saying is this. If they give you a table, let's say I give you a table x and y, and I give you some values. And so I'll give you some values here. Negative 1.25, 1.4, 364, and let's say 5, 1024, 1024. Now when they say this, they want to know what's the equation. Now what they've been doing is they give you the equation. They say, what are the points? Now it's backwards. They say, here's the points. What's the equation? And so what we're going to do is called exponential regression. And on your calculator, it's going to be called expreg, exponential regression. So how do we do it? Well, let's get started. So first off, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to enter this into a list. So here we go. So turn your calculator on. All right, now here we go. There's a button here that says stat. So you're going to press stat. So here we do. We press stat. So I'll put down some steps up here. So first we press stat. Number 1 is edit. That's what you need. So we need to do stat edit. So just hit 1. Now here's our list 1, list 2. My x value will be L1, my y value will be L2. And what you do is just punch them in, and you just run right down the line. So here we go. So -1, -1, enter. Notice it enters it into the first spot. Then a positive 1, enter. 3, enter. 5, enter. Go sideways. And now we're going to enter the other numbers. 0.25, enter. 4, enter. 64, enter. And 1024, 10, 2, 4, enter. Now if you've messed any of these up, what you can do is just back up and then just retype it. And so that's not that big a deal. So now we have to have our list typed in. So now you're going to press the button that says stat again. So stat. Now this time we want to go to calc. So you slide over to where it says calc. So slide sideways. Now I'm looking for expreg, exponential regression. You have to scroll all the way down your list. It's not on the first screen. And here it is. See, we have all these line reg, that's linear regression. LN is natural log regression, or log regression. Expreg, so so choice 0. That's the one we want. So either you just go right over it, hit enter, and now on your screen it should say expreg. Now what you have to do is a good habit to tell it what list. So I want to put in L1 and L2. Because eventually it will happen. Somebody will delete the list off their calculator and they won't be able to get it back on. And then they'll say during a test or a quiz, they'll say, oh, my list is missing. And there's nothing I can do about it during a test or a quiz. So you might have to use like L1 and L3 or L1 and L5. And you're just going to tell the calculator, and the calculator is fine with it. Now, to find L1, it's in blue over the 1. So you press second 1. And L1 shows up, comma, L2, second 2. So I got L1, comma, L2. So it's expreg L1, L2. Now when we hit enter, it gives me the equation. Now remember, we talked about exponential equations are in this form, y equals ab to the x, where a could be a number and b is another number, x is my variable. Now in here they're telling me a is 1, b is 4. So when I write down my equation, y equals 1 times 4. Notice I don't put a star. That just tells me it means multiply. 1 times 4 x power. Now you don't have to have the 1 here. This cleans up. Nobody would ever write it that way. They would just write y equals 4 to the x. Here's a major clue right here. The first power is a 4. Congratulations. That's an exponential regression. Now, what if I want to do a scatter plot? I can put this on as a scatter plot. Now, I could just graph these points on a piece of graph paper, or I can have the calculator do it. So let's try with the calculator. Over the y equals, it says stat plot. So I press second y equals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, see, right now I'm going to hit enter, go into the first one. And right now I'm going to turn it on. Hit on. The very first one here, right there, that's a scatter plot. Notice the list it's using is L1 and L2. So this is all good so far. And this is the mark. It's just going to make little boxes on my graph. So now this is ready to go. Except I never cleared out my old problem. So I can clear that out. And now when I press graph, I see a little bit. Well, because that's not how you do a scatter plot. What you want to do is you're going to hit zoom statistics. Statistic. Zoom. It's not on the first screen. Scroll down and you look for zoom stat. Enter, and there's my points. Those are my 4 points, and they go like that. Now my graph is a little off. That's not really on the line. If you press the button, it says trace. So it says -1.25. Go sideways. It's -1.4. This line is not really the x-axis. And that's how you get it like that. That's how you graph a scatter plot. Let's try another problem. So let's clear out our list. So there's a couple ways to do it. Here's one way. You press stat and choice 4 says clear list. Hit choice 4. Now it's blinking. It's like, you sure you want to do this? And you say, yeah, enter. 2, bad, clear list. I got to tell it what list. L1, so second L1, comma, second L2. So now, when I press stat, edit, my lists are empty. Okay, so let's try another problem. All right, here we go. We got a whole big word problem here. There's a box, there's 1,000 coins, they shake it, they dump the coins on the table. So you're counting the ones that land heads up. And then they do it again. And then they just keep doing it. So they do it 6 times. And these are what the heads up are. So what's the exponential equation? Rounding to the nearest 10,000. All right, so we got some important things. So now when you see a big problem like this, a couple things are important. This is 10 thousandths. This is going to be my L1. This is going to be my L2. What you need to do is write this down, this part right here. So here we go. So this is my X, this is my Y. So I got a 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1,000. 610, 220, 132, and a 45. So that's my numbers I'm going to type in. So 0, enter, 1, enter, 3, enter, 4, enter, 6, enter. Sideways, 1,000. 610, 220, 132, and 45. Now what we're going to do is stat, calc, exp reg, L1, comma, L2. Stat, calc, exp reg. We go down below. L1, comma, L2. Enter. Now they want us to have to the 10,000th places here. So now what I would do is, they actually don't ask us to graph this thing. So maybe what I'll do is get rid of this thing so we have some room. And I'm just going to copy down my screen here. Y equals A star B caret X. And I'm just going to write down these values. Okay, I'm copying everything on my screen. I'm not rounding yet. I'm just copying down my screen. Uh, 8580214. Okay, now it says nearest 10,000. Well, that'd be tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. They want 4 decimal places. So now I'm ready to write my thing. Y equals, I'm going to round this to 4 decimal places. I'm looking here. 1018.28. That's a weird 2. 2839 times 0.596. This 5 is bigger. It's bigger, 5. So let's make this 8 turns into a 9. Close it. Power x. That is my equation. 1018.2839 times 0.5969 to the x power. That's a good equation. That's my equation. Now the second part says this. If you're going to do this, how many coins would you expect after 8? Well, that means this x value equals 8. What we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to type in an 8 for this number and punch this in, and I would expect it to be lower than 45 if we did this correctly. This number should be lower than 45. If you type this in at 6, it won't be exactly 45, but it'll be kind of close. So I'm going to go to the calculator. Now I'm on a regular screen, so I'm just going to punch in this weird decimal. 1018.2839 parenthesis 0.5969, close it, caret, and I can put any number I want. I'm going to use the number 8 because that's what they asked for, and hit enter. 16.48 408977. Well, you can't have 0.4 of a coin, so I'm just going to round it to flat out a 16. And that's my exponential regression. So let's try another one. Here's my chart. Type it in. What you can use this time, let's try a different one. Press second plus sign, second memory, and number 4 says clear all the lists. I'm going to hit clear all lists, and now my lists are done. Press stat, edit, type this in. Try it. Stat, calc, exp reg, L1, L2. If you actually don't type in L1, L2, it uses L1, L2 automatically. It doesn't really matter. Those are your values. Read it, round it, try it out. So here's my equation to 2 decimal places. And then I punch in the value of 10 for x, and I get 562. Here's another problem, but I think we're running out of time. So thank you for joining me for this, and we'll have a part 2, and maybe we'll hit up another couple problems. Thank you very much. Have a nice night.